Ladies and gentlemen, you will recall that soon after Mr. Narendra Modi took over as Prime Minister on 26th of May 2014, one of the earliest declarations of intent that he made was that his government would resolve to bring those regions of the country which had remained relatively underdeveloped or which had missed the development journey of India, so that they rise to be at par with the more developed regions. And the exact phrase that he used was कि वो क्षेत्र जो पिछड़ गए, मुख्य धारा से छूट गए या पिछली सरकारों की प्राथमिकता में नहीं थे, उनको उसी स्तर पर ला करके खड़ा कर रहा है. Because exactly what he said was कि अगर एक बुझा बलवान हो और दूसरी निर्बल रह जाए तो भारत माता का समूचा विकास संभव नहीं. प्रधानमंत्री के द्वारा प्रारंभ की गई उस संकल्प से सिद्धि की यात्रा का आज जो हम देख रहे हैं एक महत्वपूर्ण पड़ाव है. And when we look back these 7.5 years, having worked with the Prime Minister, I can say with a certain amount of confidence that we have walked the talk, if not wholly to the extent that we wish to, but at least substantially to a very great extent. And when Prime Minister pointed out to those areas which deserved proximity, he had in mind A, Jammu and Kashmir, B, Northeastern region. Today, nearly 8 years down the lane, Northeast is being cited as the development model of the Modi government. In spite of the fact that the constraints there were much more than Jammu and Kashmir. The topography is much more difficult. Connectivity is difficult. Communication is not that easy. Weather is not favorable. Even militancy is not that easy as it is in Jammu and Kashmir. यहाँ एक भाई militant है, दूसरा भाई सरकारी नौकरी करता है और दामाद टीचर है. लेकिन 2014 में जब पूर्व उत्तर में हम पहुंचे थे तो पहाड़ों से फायर होता था जो सरकारी गाड़ी चलती थी. They meant to register their presence. In spite of that, if Northeast has undergone that transformation, which Jammu Kashmir has also undergone, but maybe not to that extent. And I think the reasons are not to be elaborated enough because already hinted at by the Lieutenant Governor also and the Housing Secretary also. There has been a lot of development in the last 7 years, but we were bound down by certain constraints, certain constitutional barriers, certain self-made shackles, which didn't allow us to move in the manner that we wish to move, which possibly didn't allow us to conceive an event like this that is happening this morning. And therefore, in the context of Jammu and Kashmir, the moment of reckoning arrived on August 5-6, 2019. And it came as a breakthrough. When the shackles of the past were done away and a new order was put in place. So this has been a tremendous journey in the last nearly 3 years or 2.5 years, moving on a fast track to make up for the lapses of the past several decades. And what the Chief Secretary was trying to spell out, I think broadly speaking, if you ask me, the transformation over the last 2.5 years has happened in 3 levels. A, the level of equitable dispensation, justice, constitutionally, socially, and otherwise, which I'm not going to spell out. Most of us have been reading the newspapers, the media. The rights of the West Pakistan refugees restored, the rights of the daughters of this place restored who married outside. We had 2 prime ministers, incidentally, who were refugees from Pakistan, Dr. Manmohan Singh and I.K. Gujral. I always say, thank God they did not choose to settle in Jammu and Kashmir. Destiny would have deprived them of that opportunity. But here, that happened, even in spite of the fact that a couple of years staying abroad, you get a green card over there. I'm not going to detail about that, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a learned audience. You've been reading about it over the last 3 years. The second level is governance, with which I am also connected because I look after about 8 departments. One of them happens to be the personnel, which Arun Mehta was referring to. Within 15 days of the Union Territory having come into place on the 31st of October 2019, precisely within 15 days, on the 15th of November, the UT government was so forthcoming and cooperative that we held a 2 days conference on the replication of best practices. And the journey took off soon after it turned into a union territory, because we were keen that the best practices in governance, because PM has always had a very special focus on governance, which are being followed in other states and union territories, also need to be followed here, which were not actually. And if Jammu and Kashmir has to become a part of the global India, because India itself is part of the global world, we cannot help but not following those options, because this is no longer an option. This is actually a necessity. If you have to live up to those parameters, we have to seek the same benefits and dividends which are available to the rest of the country, and which Prime Minister Modi has made available in plenty, in abundance across the country. Now, for example, I compliment the Lieutenant Governor. There has been strict measures taken against corruption as well. But you will be surprised that the Prevention of Corruption Act, which is applicable across the country, was not applicable in Jammu and Kashmir till about 2 years back. The Prevention of Corruption Act 1988, which was amended through a parliament amendment brought by my own department in 2018, which also made the bribe giver equally culpable as bribe giver, and also enlarged the spectre, has come into force very recently, just about 2 years back. So if we don't follow the parameters, we can't ensure ease of governance, we can't ensure ease of living for the common man, and certainly not ease of business, because no businessman would be unwise enough to invest seeing all those constraints behind it. So I don't have to blame the business community. Maybe the circumstances were not compatible, not friendly. Then the interviews for the recruitment to government jobs were abolished following an announcement made by the Prime Minister from the ramparts of the Red Fort. These were not abolished here because they took the average of a separate constitution and a separate status or whatever. But how does it affect the separate status or the identity of the territory? If it is decided to provide a level playing field and equal opportunity to youth regardless of his or her socio-economic background. That abolition order has also been made applicable. Somebody like Mr. Durga Shankar, who's been a veteran in bureaucracy, would realize the implications of not having applied it here, and whatever would have been the reasons or the vested interest behind that. Right to information was applicable all over India, not here. They had their own right to information, which suited their convenience. Today we have CIC, Central Information Commission's right to information. We have 2 benches of CAT, the Central Administrative Tribunal, whereas most of the northern states have just single bench located in Chandigarh. That was the kind of special focus the Prime Minister was giving, and so we didn't hesitate going forward. The Central Vigilance Commission has also now only received its jurisdiction in Jammu and Kashmir. In other words, soon after becoming Prime Minister, Mr. Modi gave us the mantra of maximum governance, minimum government. This was a territory which was by default following the mantra of maximum government and minimum governance. And mind you, ladies and gentlemen, if you have maximum government, maximum regulation, minimum governance, and minimum deregulation, no one like Hira Nandani, who's been hailed as an Amitabh Bachchan, would take the risk of getting a movie released over here. And that is the story of Jammu and Kashmir till about 2 years back. So if we don't look back, as Churchill said, the longer we look back, the further we look forward. If we fail to learn from that experience and still don't make up for that, we will not be able to make the best of what is being offered to us today. As far as the development is concerned, member of parliament. तब तक हम झेलते रहेंगे 10% वाले member वाले. If we want to break out of that vested interest, we have to change our mindset. And I would not take longer than that. I think मोदी जी ने हमें सिखाया कि जहाँ जिसकी इसकी पूर्ति करनी है, कमी रहेगी, उसकी भरपाई करिए. उसके बाद देखा जाएगा जनता वोट देती है कि नहीं देती. And under Modi, we have tried to change the political culture, the work culture. In Northeast, we had to set up the first ever fruit park. Puri Saab knows that. And Israel had that collaboration, had that expertise. When I spoke to the Israel ambassador, Mr. Cameron, who is now no longer there, he said the most appropriate place would be Mizoram with its resources. We went there. A population just 1 million, one MP, that too from a different party. We didn't have a government of our own party. But we sent out a message. ऐसा नहीं है कि पुरी साहब अगर पेट्रोलियम मंत्री बनते हैं तो पहले अमृतसर में पेट्रोलियम की रिफाइनरी लगाएंगे, या मैं रेल मंत्री बनता हूं तो अपने गांव में रेल स्टेशन बनाऊंगा चाहे कोई पैसेंजर हो कि ना हो. This was the culture which India suffered for the last 70 years. And if Prime Minister Modi has tried to change that, Jammu Kashmir is also entering into that mainstream journey of PM Modi's New India, and we have to be sincere enough to earn the trust of the people, and I'm sure this outreach will succeed because Prime Minister Modi and his government is not only sincere, also well-intentioned while taking this initiative. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much for that insight, sir. Thank you.
Not only a number of national level projects have now taken up, but who would answer for those national projects which were deliberately held up? We have a national project over here called Shahpur Kandi, which benefits both Punjab, Jammu Kashmir. Under Indus Waters Treaty, we had 3 rivers which were given to us, Ravi, Satluj, Byas, and Pakistan got 3 other, Indus, Jhelum, Chenab. Entire water of our share from river Ravi was flowing into Pakistan because that dam was not allowed to be built for whatever reason. It is only after the imposition of the governor's rule that that project has taken off, and next year it will become applicable. And upon that, it was painful to hear, जब भी कोई गोलीबारी हो जाती है, हमारा कोई नेता उठ के कहता, पाकिस्तान का पानी रोक दो. और ये भूल जाते हैं कि अपने हिस्से का पानी भी पाकिस्तान जा रहा है. The list is long. I'm not going to that because it'll take a whole day. We have the North India's first biotechnology park coming up. We have 8 medical colleges sanctioned through the center just in the last 3-4 years. We have 2 AIIMS, IIM, IIT, host of other educational institutions, technical institutions, which have come up only in the last 3-4 years. And yes, now this industrial package, as the Honorable Lieutenant Governor was rightly mentioning. In fact, in one of the meetings, when the Home Ministry was putting across the proposal of 35,000 crore or so, even then the Lieutenant Governor had said that, Manoj ji had said that we'll soon achieve 50,000 crore. And I'm sure they'll reach 1 lakh crore, the manner they are proceeding. But what we need to understand is that to make this happen in few years, 2 years, 3 years, a few months, there's been a tremendous persistent effort accompanied with passion. And I must compliment the Lieutenant Governor and also the past Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Murmu, who actually initiated the outreach programs, and I also had the opportunity of accompanying him at 1 or 2 places, including at Delhi, before the COVID set in. But what we must understand is, when I say passion, I'm not saying it just to sound poetic, because I can narrate poetry otherwise, which I'll refrain doing so, because I want to talk substance instead of poetry. Someone like Hira Nandani doesn't have to invest in Jammu Kashmir to make profits. You think so? तो सारा हिंदुस्तान छोड़ करके उनको यहीं पे. It's really passion to make it happen in Jammu and Kashmir. What can happen other ways? Why not happen here? And that is Prime Minister's dream. And as I said, to bring it at par with the other places. And I personally, because I also was to an extent involved in this. For example, we had this Apollo coming here, and I was associated with them for a long time because the elder Reddy, the founder, Dr. Pratap Reddy, who's around 90 years old, is a very close friend of my teacher and my mentor, Dr. P.V. Sadasivan. So when we put across, they were not very much, it was not in their scheme of things actually. And Sangeeta even said that we could open up another hospital in Hyderabad. But why in Jammu and Kashmir will it be viable? But then then it was realized, no, we'll be contributing. At the end of the day, you have to make a contribution, you have to make a mark. And I said, if Apollo steps in, it will open the floodgates for the rest of the healthcare industry as well. And that motivated them. So ladies and gentlemen, these business leaders who are here today are not here to make money out of you. They are here to impart a new culture to you. And that is what is important for us. And so many other, we have this organization called LEADS, which is lesser known, but it's a citizen initiative of some well-meaning, well-intentioned experts who were moving around the country trying to persuade. I remember once we were sitting in Srinagar, and then the call was being mailed to the Haldiram group. So what I'm trying to express over here is that if they have come, they have not come for business. It is just that they happen to be businessmen. And that brings me to the real question. Having seen Jammu Kashmir for almost half a century very closely, the real question is, the industry is moving fast, but are we also moving at the equal pace? And the real question is, the investors that you see in this room are ready. Are we also ready to receive them? And the real question is, there's a lot of physical activity happening around us today, as you've seen for the last 1 hour. But is there also any activity happening in the mindset? Or the mindset is the same? Lieutenant Governor was rightly hinting out, एक धारणा ये चल पड़ी कि साहब ये बाहर से लोग आ गए तो बेरोजगारी हो जाएगी. Give me one example in the history from any part of the world where investment has increased unemployment. जहां जहां इंडस्ट्री आई रोजगार बढ़ा है, कम कहीं नहीं हुआ. तो ये कौन लोग हैं ये फैलाने वाले? कुछ एक तो वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट होंगे जैसे लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर साहब ने कहा, और कुछ एक हमारे माइंड में कॉम्प्लेसेंट बैठ गए. वी बिकम प्रिजनर्स ऑफ आवर ओन कॉम्प्लेसेंस, प्रिजनर्स ऑफ आवर ओन लेथार्जी. And we've seen this happening. One of the earliest programs which was held after Mr. Modi took over as Prime Minister was the inauguration of the Katra Vaishno Devi railway station. जैसे ही वो अनाउंसमेंट किया तो यहाँ से आवाज़ उठ गई कि साहब हरी मार्केट बंद हो जाएगी, रघुनाथ बाजार बंद हो जाएगा, ये यात्री जाते हैं, ये कहाँ जाएंगे, पहले यहाँ से होके जाते थे, यहाँ रात बिताते थे, यहाँ खाना खाते थे, यहाँ झूठे सच्चे शॉल खरीदते थे, दुगनी कीमत पर चले जाएंगे. तो क्या हुआ? On the contrary, it gave us an opportunity to do value addition to what we were doing. हमने नए विकल्प ढूंढे, हमारे व्यापारी ने कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग की, उनकी अगली पीढ़ी के व्यापारी, उनके संतान जो टेक ओवर करने वाली थी, उन्होंने भी कोई नए विकल्प ढूंढे. So in fact they enhanced their business capacities and their business. Otherwise आराम से बैठे थे, चार अमृतसर का चाल 4 गुना कीमत में बिक गया, 2 शाल बिक गए, दिहाड़ी लग गई, काम काज कुछ नहीं करना. So this 60-70 years made us slaves in the mind. And that is what has to be got rid of. Though I know it's not easy. The status quo is, human being a clinician, I know is by nature a status quoist. अगर आपको कह दिया जाए अपना लिविंग रूम बदल दो, तो आपको थोड़ी देर सोचने में लग जाती है, अरे वहाँ मेरी चारपाई ऐसे लगी थी, खिड़की उस तरफ थी, अपनी टेबल इस तरफ हुआ. बाद में 2-4 महीने में लगता है कि नहीं, यहाँ तो ज़्यादा सुविधा थी. So that we have become prisoners of that status quoist mind, and the mindset has become a slave of that. And for this, I would make a small suggestion also. we should also keep the local business leaders and representatives on board. Jaise we have elected bodies in Jammu, like for example, the Jammu Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I felt quite disappointed the other day when I learned that the elected Chamber of Jammu had gone a protest against the government. If there is something wrong, it has to be corrected because they have to be on board with us. And the government also has to look at them as their facilitators, as their messengers, as their feedback resources. And if we do that, it will be easy to translate what we wish to translate here. There will be less of antagonism, more of supplementation. We have trade business organizations locally also. I am sure in the future, planning and policy making and every decision making, they'll be party to it, because we have no right to deprive them of that prerogative once they have come through a proper election. And a small but an unpleasant request even for people of my own biradari. ये जो हमारे नेता लोग जाकर के झूठा सच्चा आश्वासन दे आते हैं, उससे सारा काम बिगड़ जाता है. अब एलजी साहब कह रहे थे कि कोई बैठ जाएगा बाहर कि साहब बेरोजगारी बैठेगी, तो हमारा कोई नेता वहां चल के कहे अच्छा मैं गवर्नर साहब से बात करता हूं, आपको आश्वासन देता हूं. A leader has to lead, he has not to be led by the protests. अभी अगले ही दिन, as I was mentioning, the interviews were polished only last year. उसके बाद जो पहली यहाँ पर रिक्रूटमेंट हुई है, that was paramilitary forces, CAPF. 2000 पोस्टें निकली, रिटर्न हुआ, पुरी साहब सिलेक्ट हो गए. 1000 लोग, because normally, now we have, because this, I only brought in this rule, we have made the skill test as a qualifying test. क्योंकि सारी गड़बड़ उसी में होती थी. अगर ड्राइवर लगाना हो, रिटर्न में चाहे वो फेल हुआ हो, ड्राइविंग में उसको 100 मार्क्स दे दो. कुक लगाना हो तो डीसी साहब के घर में जो नौकरी करता है उसको फौरन नौकरी मिल जाती थी, या मंत्री जी के घर में. हमने वो प्रथा समाप्त की. लेकिन टू मेक अप फॉर दैट, द अदर ऑप्शन इज कि अगर आपके 2000 नौकरियां which have to be selected by the written test, the qualifying test is done for maybe 1.5 number. तो साहब जो अगले 1000 थे जिनका नहीं हुआ था, तो वो धरने पे बैठ गए कि साहब हमारा तो मेडिकल टेस्ट फिट था, हमें क्यों नहीं दिया. और बजाय इसके उनको समझाया जाए कि ये आपका क्वालिफाइंग टेस्ट था, इससे आपको मेरिट में नौकरी नहीं मिलती, हमारे लोग जाकर के उनको आश्वासन दें मैं एलजी साहब से बात करूंगा. सो आई थिंक वी ऑल्सो, बिकॉज the society evolves as a whole, society progresses as a whole. Even when Amitabh Bachchan acts in a movie, he has to have one Gabbar Singh there, he has to have one Jaya Prada there. So Hiran Andani cannot function in isolation. Every segment of society, whether local business leaders, whether local public representatives, whether local politicians, all of us have to realize the importance of this renaissance happening, this revolution happening under Prime Minister Modi, which could happen only under Prime Minister Modi because there is no vested interest involved. As the LG was rightly saying, there is a vested interest in the continuing of this mayhem and militancy so that a handful of people keep getting elected with 10% voter turnout. I said that in the parliament. Kaash ek din ye bhi koi कानून लाए that you should have a threshold minimum voter turnout to be.